Hello, Apologia Educational Ministries. This is James Hill, your Aflac rep, all the way from Anderson, Indiana. That's right, we're giving this broadcast here to all of you across those 5 states where you work to be sure that you know what Aflac benefits are available to you through your employer. This account has been inactive with Aflac for several years, and many times what happens is employers and employees are not aware of what Aflac does. Maybe the agent wasn't the most involved or wasn't able to connect well with your style and with your personality. Well, God has definitely arranged for me to be your agent this time to connect well, because I am actually a Christian and a pastor and was a homeschool educator, and on top of that am a creation science enthusiast. So I think it's a good connection this time. I hope that we can get you the value of our benefits where we were not able to do so before. I want to explain just a few of the things that we do with our plans and how they will help you as an individual and your family. And also tell you my personal Aflac story to give more of a moral heart to what we're doing here so that you can see God in the arrangement. Well, first, our Aflac plans are phenomenal. We are #1 in the world. We are a Fortune 125 company. We have $120 billion in assets. We pay millions of dollars in claims every year, more than any other insurance company. That's why our duck is so popular, as you just saw. In fact, I can squeeze him and he talks. We are very well known, but many times people don't know exactly what it is we do. They just know it's insurance. Well, it's not health insurance. It's Aflac. Aflac pays you cash for medical events as opposed to paying medical bills. And we pay on top of every other insurance, and we pay the money to you directly to use however you want, the same amount for the events, regardless of how much the bills cost. That's why we are able to do so much more than traditional health insurance. On the market today, health insurance costs have risen about 50%. That is in the last year. On top of that, deductibles have risen also about 50%. So many of you know you're paying $4,000 or $5,000, maybe even $8,000 or $10,000 a year in your deductible and co-pays and co-insurance up to your max out of pocket before you're ever getting any health insurance coverage. That's where Aflac surpasses the competition. We are able to pay you cash up to many thousands of dollars with our accident plan, over $12,000 typically, and with our cancer plan up to even the 50, 60, even hundreds of thousands of dollars if need be, an unlimited amount with the cancer plans, so that you do not have to pay out of pocket, maybe at all. That is certainly our goal. We have an accident plan, a cancer plan, as I mentioned, also a hospitalization plan, also a critical care plan, dental, vision, some life insurance, and most importantly, our short-term disability. I can't emphasize enough the need for all of you to sign up for short-term disability. At least get a small plan, if not a sizable plan, so that if you can't work for a time because of a medical issue, you will get a paycheck from Aflac to make it through that time. It can absolutely devastate your life if you don't have short-term disability. That's what happened to me. My Aflac story, in fact, is just that, a short-term disability story. I was out of work for 5 months due to a medical issue and lost over $23,000 of my retirement. I had to cash in IRAs. I had to scramble around to find change to pay for things. It was a horrible time. And as a result, the stress upon my marriage and my family eventually resulted in the loss of my family, a divorce, and loss of my home. Eventually, a homeless man scrounging around for change, staying in hotels, trying to rebuild his life. I do praise God that I found Aflac. As a pastor, I obviously care deeply for people, but as an Aflac agent, I have seen a very practical way to prevent tragedy in people's lives. Financial security is one of the greatest securities of life. When you have it, you're able to flourish in almost every other area. I encourage you to get this financial protection, be sure that your family stays intact, and be sure that you receive the blessing that God has through our benefits. Again, we are #1 in the world. God has blessed us because we've been ethical, we've been moral, we've been happy, and we've been very personally involved with our customers, as you see here in this video. I encourage all of you to look at the plans, consider what they can do for you. There's much more to be said, but this is a small promotional video so that you understand at least enough to look into it and hopefully sign up for many plans to protect your family. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. I am here 24/7 for you to enroll you in any plans that you need, answer questions to help guide you to the plans that are appropriate for you, and on top of that can tell you whatever information you need for your enrollment period, which begins 11/1 to 12/31 for those who have existing policies. If you are a new hire or you do not have an existing policy or you just have not heard of this before, technically we can enroll you anytime. And I would encourage you to call right away or email me, j1_hill@us.aflac.com, so that we can get you the coverage you need as soon as possible before some tragedy would ensue. Thank you again, and remember Proverbs 16:9, that in his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. Or as another translation says, in his heart a man plans what he will do, but God decides what will happen. And he has decided to put me in your life and in this business with your ministry, finally with a good fit after all these years, to be able to give you this protection, this blessing from above, and hopefully in a way that you understand. Thank you.